guys? Holyknight bringing you Eden Zero review, chapter 4, titled No Yuma. This chapter was very funny. The chapter starts off with Rebecca and Happy taking Shiki to his quarters in the aqua ring room, and she gives him a place to stay, and he asks her, why can't I sleep with you? And she's like, hell no. And you know that cute little facial expression she has when her eyes are just pure white, and she's just, so that was funny. Then they're talking about going to Yuma, where the doctor lives on that planet, and Shiki came out with the idea of I'm not sure if it was Shiki or Rebecca. I believe it was it was Shiki. He told Rebecca, can I pilot the plane? Because they had an autopilot. So she was like, yeah, sure, I can get a ton of views. And I could title the video, Amateur Driving a Spaceship. So she lets him try, and he crashes it on the planet. Luckily, it was the planet it was going to, but he crashes it. And she's not upset, as we can tell, but she gets, like, her and Happy gets freaked out because he picks up the ships and he puts it somewhere safe. And she's like, you can pick up heavy things too, make them weightless. And he was like, I can make anything weightless. I made you weightless, remember? And she was like, I'm not a thing. So it was just comedy relief in the beginning. And then we found out something very interesting about this planet, Yuma, that it can create earth crystals, ethers. And what happens is that part of the earth rises up like pillars. And once those pillars get too high to the sky, they get like crystallized, and then they fall. And that's how those earth crystals are made. Then Shiki brought up a good point. How do people live on this planet if these towers are always growing and then falling? And Rebecca's reply was, well, this city is underground. And then we finally get to see the city of Yuma, and it's underground. And it looked like a really nice city. You can tell it's like more like electronical than like other cities. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have nothing but doctors, technicians, other smart people and like smart jobs like doctors and like computer robotics people and computer maintenance and stuff like that. So, because it seems very technological, way more technological than the other place in Meteor Church. So. And it looked kind of bigger too, but I could just be wrong, but it looked nice. Then we have Shiki and Rebecca and Happy. They go to the professor's house. We find out Professor Wise is the guy who healed Happy. Not healed Happy, but brought him back to life technically as a robot. So they went to his place and they looking around, and Shiki found some sunglasses. So he decided to, let me put them on and let me look around. He looked at Happy and he realized that he was able to see the inside of his body. So he got freaked out, he took it off. Then he saw Rebecca and he was like, ooh, and he put it back on and he looked at her. And he's like dozing off looking at her. Of course, we all know why. He's basically seeing her naked. And she's tapping him like, don't be touching other people's stuff. Then we get this guy with blonde hair who looks like Luxus from Fairytail. And he comes out with a gun. He points it at them and said, freeze. Why are you sneaking into someone else's house? And they say we're looking for Professor Wise, which is the professor that, brought Happy back. And he doesn't say nothing, but he has like this shocked face. And then Shiki says something about, are you friends with this guy too? And then the guy who's pointing the gun at them, he states his name is Wise Sterner. And like Rebecca and Happy freaks out and they're like, what? And Shiki's just confused. Now this is part of the chapter where things get very bizarre. I mean, this is done by Hiro Mashima, so bizarre and weird is part of the manga that he always makes. But this gets like super weird because we get a time skip, and the time skip is 20,000 years into the future, and it was like, what? Like I saw that 20 years, later, and after this scene, and it was like, did we really get a time skip? I mean, and it gets weirder. Two guys wearing robotic suits are scavenging in this planet, and they find two dead remains and some robotic parts around it. And they start praying, to Mother, or as I like to call her, hashtag Genova. And they praying for the souls of these two dead people. And then one of these guys picked up a box cube, and the box cube was the blue cube with the pink heart, which Rebecca and Happy wears around their neck. And he turns it around and he picks it up and he puts it in front of him, looking upwards. And then you see Eden Zero is written behind it. But at the same time, he's looking at the cube and lifting it up, and it says Eden Zero. Way into the distance, going more up in another space, we see Noyuma, the planet, and it looks like something like cut it in half. Looks like it's more like it's deteriorating apart. But it was just that cliffhanger in the end was just, it was weird. Like that, I can't even explain what was going on in those last two panels, three. But did we really, are Shiki and Rebecca gonna die? I mean, every living thing eventually dies, but I mean, are we really gonna get to see them die? Is this gonna be like a foreshadow of something, or did they die in that place? Maybe there was an earthquake that was talking to this guy Wise, and they all died there. I'm not really sure what to make of this, but the only thing I can really think of right now is maybe this is events to come in the way distant future. Maybe Shiki and Rebecca dies in their last mission in Eden Zero, and they never get to meet Mother. Or maybe this is the kids, and they give the kids Happy and these objects, and they died on this planet. I mean, I don't know. That ending was just, it was a bombshell. I mean, a time skip 20,000 years already. I mean, first of all, time skips don't happen until the series get usually halfway or close to the end. Sometimes both. But we got one in the 4th chapter, and it was 20,000 years. I'm like, wow. Marvel's pulling all the stumps on this one. For all the fairy tale haters, you can't really hate him on this. Maybe you could fault him on the fact that he's always mentioning friendship, which is understandable because Shiki never had friends. But other than that, his writing so far and the way things been going, Eden Zero's been on fire. Literally. No pun intended, but yeah, this is all I have for this review. Please comment, share, like, and subscribe. Tell me your thoughts and opinion on everything. Tell me what your predictions are for the next chapter, and yeah, I see you on the next one.